What's up, Angel City? Welcome to episode 88 of Angel City Chicks. I am your girl, Panda, joining you all today to talk to you about Angel City and the home opener and so many other things. I cannot wait, but of course, I could not do it alone. Joining me today, as always, is the one, the only Nina Keever. What is going on?
That's right. She has not found a replacement for me yet, but don't forget to like and subscribe. Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and maybe she will replace me with you after this. We are sort of excited, I guess, for this episode recap. It didn't end the way we wanted, but I think you and I are both on the same page where we're proud of this team and we're happy with what we saw in the pitch, although we're not happy with the results. Does that summarize it pretty well? Can we end the show?
I mean, yeah, I think that says a whole lot about how we feel, which is, yeah, I mean, I think a win would have been the best thing, but we didn't. But we have a lot of positive takeaways that we really want to focus on and talk about because it's only one game. And that's why my hashtag is don't panic. I know there's already people hitting the panic button out there. Believe me, I see you out there on social media. I see you out there freaking out. No, same thing as always. Third season in a row, same team, same result, blah, 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 whatever. No, not the same team. And we're definitely going to get into why that's not the same team and why you shouldn't panic. So, but first, we always like to warm up a little bit, have a little bit of banter, check in with ourselves and anyone else out there. If you're joining us on the live, if you're in your car watching this and listening to this or whatever you're doing later, then send us a DM. Let us know how your week's going. Ours is going well. I'm having a glass of wine tonight. How are you doing, Nina?
Same. Wine time. I do love these Thursday night date nights for us. And, Amanda and I, as we've talked about before, we both have full-time jobs. We are pretty busy, but we are going to make time every Thursday at 7 p.m. to sit here with you. So do yourself a favor. Thursday nights at 7, it's us time. Pour yourself a glass of wine. If you're under 21, get yourself some sparkling water, a nice spindrift, and meet us here. Let us know, because this show is not the same without you.
Absolutely. We love the comments. We love to address any questions, comments, concerns that are in the chat. That always makes it even more fun and keeps us on our toes. But yeah, Thursdays are good. They're like Friday Junior. We've got some energy going into the weekend. I get to guest spot on a radio show and talk about Angel City every Thursday. So I kind of already am warmed up. And I think going forward, when I have the opportunity to request a day off during the week instead of needing it for some reason, like if I just have to pick a random day, I'm probably going to make sure that it is Thursday. So that'll make this all just a little bit easier for everything. So hopefully we can be as consistent.
More for me to read. You're going to have really, really typed. You already do a lot. Read.
I know. You're really gonna have your work cut out for you, Nina. I know it's gonna be good, guys. So, anyways, we're so happy you are along with us for this ride, and yeah, I mean, like I said, we have a lot of fun things to talk about, and
so much to talk about. As we have decided, we're going to start off with any Angel City news, Angel City recap before we delve into what's happening in the world around the league. So, should we jump into this? Should we talk about this starting 11 for our season 3 home opener?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go ahead, get into it. We have talked for the last few times about this game. We all knew it was happening. We all knew it was happening on St. Patty's Day, Marathon Sunday, and yeah. So
and real quick, tell everybody how you did in that marathon.
I thought I could get by without having to delve too deep in it. No, I did. Completed time. 3:58. So sub 4, very happy with it. Love to see. I saw so many Angel City people out there. I think they were all gearing up for the game. They had their jerseys and their gear on. At one point I saw JD, who works for the club as well. He was wearing his Angel City shirt. It was really cool. So that kind of gave me a little smile on my face, and it was really exciting. It was like a nice little pregame kind of pep in my step. But Anyways, let's go ahead. Let's just dive in as people have requested. Let's talk about this game. Let's talk about what happened, why it was good things and what was bad and all that. So, Nina, start out. Let's talk about the starting lineup because obviously it looks a little different than it did last season.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of this starting lineup. There was one name that I wish I would have seen in the starting lineup, but I'm still super thrilled with this. We had Anderson in goal, and then defenders Sarah Gordon, Paige Nielsen, Ali Riley, and M.A. Vignola. This is my ideal back line. I love it. Ali Riley, captain third year in a row, and Sarah Gordon actually taking the vice captain role.
I mean, that's a pretty solid back line, in my opinion. A lot of veteran leadership back there, even with a bit of the Anderson's still not really a rookie, but she's young. She hasn't been in this pro game for very long. I mean, last year was her first season, but I like this back line. I think there's some fierce girls to deal with. When they're on, they are on.
Anderson and Fuller in these pictures look like they could still be starring in like teen acne commercials. I'm feeling really old right now.
Oh my gosh, do not say that, Nina. Oh my goodness. Well, let's you know what? Speaking of teen acne, let's move on to that midfield that does have a little bit of that still going on. We've got, of course, Amandine Henri, Maggie Doherty Howard, and Kennedy Fuller making her pro debut, very first game. Big start for this 17-year-old. What are your thoughts when you see this? How do you feel
Yeah,
about that?
just so exciting. The young talent is really inspiring. I love this for us. I like that we have this good mix. I think there's some incredible talent in the veterans on the team that they can learn from and that'll help calm the nerves. But I love that young momentum and energy. And, we continue to see that as we talk about some of the forwards. You've got two great veterans, Claire Emsley and Sydney LaRue. And can we call Alyssa Thompson like a not so much rookie? No, she's still a rookie. She is year two for Alyssa Thompson, but
I mean, she still
still
acts like a veteran out there. We know that.
she does. He acts like a veteran,
She's
but I loved this lineup for us. I thought it was incredible. And, as we talk about this game, we've already kind of mentioned some of the milestones. Kennedy Fuller making her NWSL debut as the youngest player to appear in a match in Angel City history. And then I don't know if we want to jump too far forward into it, but in the 82nd minute, defender Giselle Thompson makes her NWSL debut, and Merritt Mathias makes her return to the NWSL after a 2023 season ending injury, and she subs in the 78th minute. Super exciting for both of them. But one other really cool highlight that we have to add, and this is club wide news. We sold out our home opener for the third straight year, 22,000 people. And with this graphic, you're, of course, getting a look at the best TIFO I've ever seen.
ever, like across
Ever.
the board tifos. All right. Yeah, I
For,
love La Fortaleza. I
for
love
Angel City. We'll
the
say for Angel City because
Yeah,
I don't want to
well, I mean,
dive
I
into
think I think in the NWSL, that's safe to say,
there. Yes,
absolutely. Come
absolutely.
league wide, definitely the best TIFO. I mean, I love it. They call themselves the Fortress, and I love it. I love that it is a visual and a symbolic fortress in all sense of the word. And it was great to see. I mean, they put so much work into those TIFOs. I love to see them up there. I mean, definitely one of the fun spots of the day is whenever you get to see what they've been working on, because you and we never know what those TIFOs look like. We are just as surprised as the rest of you. And I know you hate surprises, but I love not knowing. I love seeing what they have come up with and how it resonates with the games and everything. So this was certainly a great way to start the match, no doubt. And yeah, I mean, sellout. I mean, 22,000. I mean, that's huge. Could you 10 years ago, if these girls that are playing this game now were playing 10 years ago and you would have told them that was going to be the case, I wonder how many of them would have thought, no, there's no way. Or I thought,
Yeah.
holy crap, like I only wish that could happen. Or that just seems like a pipe dream or a fantasy at this point. And the fact that it's a reality is just, again, a testament to how far this game has come. And again, we're gonna talk about this game in a minute. And that in itself is a testament as well, because I thought this game was actually a lot of fun despite the score. I really
Yes.
did.
I
So,
agree with you completely, and, we'd be remiss if we didn't say a happy birthday to our coach, Becky Tweed, whose birthday actually fell on game day, and, we say this wasn't the birthday scoreline we wanted for her, but we still love our Becky.
sometimes you don't so much love the age you're turning, but you love the party about, you and that's kind of what this was. You didn't really like the score line, but I'm sure she loved the performance that this team did give in. It's something they can learn from and something they can take back because it's just game 1, folks. So anybody out there shaking your head and already throwing your hands in the air, like, settle down.
Yeah, you're good.
Settle down. All right, you're good. So, and we're gonna explain
Pour a glass
why
of
we
wine,
think that.
Tom.
Yes. Pour a glass of wine and take your shoes off and just sit back and relax and listen to us talk about this game and why we feel like things are gonna be okay. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'll just kick this off. And as we've said, unfortunately, we fell 0-1 in the season opener against new expansion side Bay FC. It was following a goal by Asisat Oshuala, which we have talked about before. She was the one to watch. She was the one that we thought was going to make a big difference on this team, and boy, did she. We'll talk about how
Mhm.
she did that in just a moment. And yeah, let's just get into it. So, the way this game started out, Angel City, they came out ready to go. They came out with an intensity. They came out ready to score goals. And that happened first in the 7th minute when midfielder Kennedy Fuller, the 17-year-old, she got a ball deep in the midfield. She got a long forward pass to Alyssa Thompson and she drove into the box. She did a little fancy footwork at the top and then she put a shot on target. It was blocked by goalkeeper Lisiane Prue. I had to look that name up. I want to make sure I got it right, and that is how you say it. So Lisiane Prue, she did prove to be quite a fortress back there, because 2 follow-up shots by Fuller and by Claire Emsley also failed to find their mark. And this multi-shot scramble, that was going to be the first in a series all game long of frustrating near misses by Angel City, unfortunately.
Yeah, and after Angel City dominated the game over the first 10 minutes, Bay FC found some momentum. And Sarah Gordon actually talked about this a little bit in the press conference, how she was surprised that they kind of sat back and it kind of caught them off guard. They expected Bay FC to come forward right out of the gate, but they sat back for the first 10. And then as we are all just settling into our seats, Bay FC notches the lone goal of the game. Forward Tess Bode intercepts a pass by Angel City defender Eme Vignola and then taps a short through pass to Asisado Shawala in the 18, who took a step and sent a hard strike into the top of the net. Oof, it was a beautiful goal. We did not like seeing her unattended in the 18, but man.
mean, she is exactly the kind of forward that I think we need first. She's exactly the type of forward that most teams need. I think LAFC could use her. But she did. She's there. She's strong, she's decisive, and she's powerful. And you see this. And there's a reason why she is such a force to be reckoned with. And we've talked about that. And there's nothing Angelina Anderson could do on that. I mean, that was a beautiful through ball. It was just like a one-touch give and go. Such awareness by both players on that team to be able to do that and catch us kind of like lazily kicking the ball around. And man,
Mhm.
what a shot. I mean, it was top bins and again, nothing you could do. And
Full
you
shot.
thought, oh no, yeah, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
So
The next chance for either team came in the 29th minute when Bay midfielder Castellanos dribbled into the left side of the penalty area and took an angled shot at the near post, but it was a routine save for Angelina Anderson.
love to see it. We're going to see lots of those throughout this game by her and probably all season long. I mean, I think she has great shot stopping abilities. And I think unfortunately, I think it's just those goals that are creative and, the ones that are unstoppable. Those are only ones I think that she's going to let through. And those are the types of shots that we need to try to figure out how to make because
Mhm.
shooting them straight at goalkeepers or shooting them, skying them or off the post, It's not going to make it to the back of the net, unfortunately. Now, Angel City did have another chance in the 35th minute when Fuller received a diagonal pass from the midfield, dribbled it into the left side of the goal area and sent a sideways pass in for midfielder Meggie Doherty Howard. She put her shot on target, but Prue saved that one. And, the momentum stayed with LA for over the final 10 minutes of the half. Midfielder Amandine Henry and Ali Riley each got shots on target, but the team again just was not able to put one away before the break. And again, I think that's just that the really lack of creativity and just finding ways to catch, people off guard. And, because
Mhm.
I don't know that too many of the saves made were, just like incredible highlight reel ones. Um,
But they
they
were
were
there.
just,
But they were
they were
saves.
there. They were
You
on
don't
target.
always have to have a highlight reel quality save for you to be known for doing a good job, and we'll get into that a little bit later when we talk about news from the league. But going into halftime, we are down 1-0 to Bay FC in their franchise opener. Angel City stayed on the front foot heading into the second half, with Doherty Howard getting another look in the 47th minute off a cross from Emsley. They came within inches of scoring again in the 50th minute when Emsley received a pass into the 18 from Thompson and dribbled the ball back to Doherty Howard as she made a late run. Doherty Howard again put her shot on frame, but Prue saved.
Who saved it?
Prue, I'm so sorry. Oh, if
Winnie the
only we
Pooh.
edited.
We're not editing that. I mean, I love Pooh and Tigger and Kanga and
Oh God.
oh, well, unfortunately, yeah, we kept getting our shots stopped, kept getting them shots blocked, and I guess thankfully though we were kind of giving it back to them. Other than the one goal, Amandine. Wow, I'm just making up names
Okay.
now.
Okay, Nina.
Oh, it's the A names, the Angelina Andersons and Almondies and Angel Cities, and there's so many A's and me as well.
All the letters of the alphabet and
I can't get past A, so sorry. But I'm gonna have to because B for Bay
I
City
turned
Bay
red.
FC. I know, right? Bay FC did come close to a second in the 58th minute when we saw Bodie crash the box, intercept a pass to get a one-on-one with Anderson, but she did well to close the angle and block that low shot. And then again, ACFC is going to come close repeatedly in the last 20 minutes of the match, so forcing several narrow goal lines. I mean, some of these, I don't know how they didn't go in. It was literally just like pinball down there at the goal
Mhm.
line. But unfortunately, those Bay defenders were right there. And in the 70th minute, Emsley, she's going to send a cross in from the left that took a high bounce off a Bay defender, fell to Sydney LaRue's feet, and she put a looping header. Oh, did I say her feet? I so meant her head. That'd be like a weird bicycle, wouldn't it? Like if it fell to her
She
feet
would.
and then all of a sudden
She
her
would
head,
bicycle.
like what is happening here? Anyways, she put a looping header on target, which Prue impressively blocked again. And the ball fell to Thompson, who she unfortunately sent that over the crossbar. I'm sure she wants that one
Ooh,
back because she
yeah.
was like right there, unfortunately.
Right. It's just so close. So many great opportunities. We were peppering them like crazy. The next near miss from the home side came in the 89th minute when Messiah Bright dribbled into the box and sent an angled shot, which took a deflection off LaRue, bouncing into Prue and back off the forward before landing on frame. But the Bay defenders arrived just in time, made that stop. We had a final look in stoppage time when Merritt Mathias sent a ball over for the top for Vignola, whose shot from the left side of the area hit the crossbar. But
Oh,
unfortunately, that is how the match ends. And I'll give a little sprinkling of love because Cali Love, I am a California girl born and raised. California is the best state. And all three California teams have now won their franchise opener. So if I'm going to take anything away from this, it's the fact that we fought hard and good for Bay FC. We'll get you next time. This is going to be a rivalry.
I mean, when they come in and beat us on our home turf in their franchise opener, it's going to set off some emotion and people are going to be gunning for them now. And I'm excited. I'm ready for it. It's going to be fun. And good on them for winning because it sucks for us but I think it's great for the sport. I think anytime a franchise team comes in and wins, I think it just sends a message to the rest of people out there, maybe thinking about franchises, that, hey, these teams can come out the gate winning. They're no longer teams that come into the league and are like the punching bag for everyone else till they figure it out. Like they come in stacked and ready, like the way it's designed, and they're good. They have some fantastic players. I'm actually very excited to see how they play against other teams as well. I want to beat them, but I can't wait to see them, against, a San Diego or, a Portland, and just see how they do. I mean, it's going to be fun, but let's talk about a little bit about the bright spots for Angel City, because despite losing 1-0, I don't think that scoreline in any way, shape, or form tells a good story about how this game actually went. Because as I mentioned before, I think this game was actually a lot of fun. There was a ton of back and forth. There was a lot of shots. There was a lot of fun stops. There was a lot of action. So it wasn't a boring game. And, I think everybody that I saw out there whenever I was reading comments, because a lot of the information we get for this pod comes from just seeing what everyone else thinks. Like these aren't just our ideas and what we think. This is just like a podcast for us to put out there so that what the rest of the
The world.
fans and I guess the world are thinking about things. Like I love to put it out there and see how people feel about it. And a lot of people really think, one, that Kennedy Fuller did not look 17, that she really just kind of slipped right in to her role and played like she's been playing with this team and in this league for years. And I think a lot of people really liked Messiah Bright. I think they thought she should have come in earlier. I think Maggie Doherty Howard had a lot of fantastic shots that, I think she's going to definitely get on that scoring line soon. I think Emsley should continue to always put service into the box, as far as, from outside the box, the corner kicks, the free
Mhm.
kicks. I think she has a fantastic boot on her when it comes to that. We just got to find out who's going to be the one who's going to be in that box, who's going to put that ball into the back of the net. But at the end of the day, no one put anything into the back of the net, but it was not for lack of trying, was it, Nina?
No, not at all. Angel City ending the match with 19 shots, 9 of those on target. And can I derail and nerd out for a minute? So I'm going to get into a stat later, but Bay FC have 8 saves. And Amanda, you might be wondering, how do they only have 8 saves, but 9 of those shots are on target and there wasn't a goal? That defensive block earlier. Blocks do not count as saves. They are defensive blocks. And that is why you can have a shot on goal that doesn't equate a save.
Thank
Sorry,
you,
small nerd
Professor
moment.
Nina. Appreciate you.
So, like I said, Angel City, 19 shots to Bay FC's 8, 9 of our shots on target to their 6. We outpossessed them with 59% and 477 passes and a 79% pass accuracy. They weren't too far behind, only about 100 passes behind us, but with 73% pass accuracy, very decent. Bay FC 11 fouls to our 8, and Bay FC earning the only yellow card of the game. Bay FC took 6 corners to R12, but we got 2 offsides called on us. So we definitely, by this stat line, seem like the team that was attacking the most.
And one thing that we have continued to do this season, as we have all season, is to give Cedar Sinai all the love in the world with those corner kicks. Because we had 12 corners to their 6. So we really, really, really need to find ways to capitalize on our corner kicks, because we take so many. There's got to be a play out there that we can run where we can figure out how to score a goal, at least, I don't know, 10% of the time, please. Because we score a lot. We earn a lot of corner kicks. I mean, we've seen
I
this play
feel
out,
like we should just do an intensive on set pieces. Like,
right?
come on.
So I know,
But
but
let's start to adjust our focus. Let's zoom out a little and see in the way, way too early standings where we are at. Of course, not where we want to be, coming in at 11th place for our little loss there, but not with too bad of a goal differential, which is why we're able to stay not as far down. Interesting thing to note here is that San Diego Wave and Gotham have not played. according to
Correct.
League
Yeah.
One, and that's because they did that Challenge Cup match. So they will each be making up that match later on, and hopefully we get that balancing out because I hate games in hand.
Right? Like, I want this all to be equal all the time and it for always to make sense to us. And right now, we don't know where they stand. And those are two huge names to not be able to factor into this quite yet because, well, they were the Shield and Cup winner. So you know that they are forces to be reckoned with. And we know that Gotham only stacked their squad in the offseason as opposed to
Mhm.
offloaded. So a lot to be said for where those are going to end up. And they don't even play each other. It'd be funny if they used the Challenge Cup as a regular season game as well and just put that out there. But they didn't,
Ooh.
and they don't even play each other in the first week. So they're going to continue to have a game in hand until they catch up. That's how
Yeah.
that goes.
Let's take a look at next week because next week, which is also tomorrow, we will be
Next
playing
week? You mean tomorrow? All right. I was like, wait, next week,
tomorrow.
tomorrow.
We're going to take on that number 6 place Orlando Pride, who tied this week with a lovely 0-0 match, which gives me some
Ooh,
hope for us.
creepy.
As you can see here, we're playing tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific. So get off work on time, get to where you're watching, get yourself that Prime Video because that's the way to watch. And if you are not watching on Prime, you can listen on iHeartRadio, or if traffic
Or
is no obstacle to you, you can get yourself down to the watch party at Rock and
hey,
Brews El
hey,
Segundo.
hey. That's right. Come on out to Rock and Brews in El Segundo. The party is going to kick off at 4 p.m. and the game will start at 5 p.m. And if you guys are familiar with Las Fotos Project, the fundraiser will give 20% kickback for all of things that are spent there for that as well. So if you want to help contribute to a good cause, you can also do that as well and watch a game. I don't. Where is El Segundo?
It's near me by the
Oh,
airport.
lucky. Oh, lucky.
Yeah, I have a better shot than you, but I still don't think I will make it from Torrance. Like, I'd get there at
Right?
halftime.
I know,
Like,
exactly. I mean, I get off at 5 from Cedar Sinai, and at Friday, heading that way, it'll
you can make
be
it by a final whistle.
you can show up and go, "Yay, we won!" Which is what I hope we do. So, I will probably not either. I will probably have it on my phone as I commute my little butt home from Cedar Sinai,
I
and
can call
hopefully
you and
catch
give
it.
you play by play.
Yeah, you can. I can also
She's like, yeah,
decline
no,
that
there's no
call.
service.
Sorry, when I hit the hills, the Hollywood Hills, unfortunately, I lose service. So it ends there, my friend. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Every day she tells me, I call her at 5:04 every single day on my drive home, and I've got a 15-minute drive home. So I get about 10 minutes of my panda time. And every time she's like, "All right, you home yet? Because I'm going to the hills."
I'm in the hills, so we gotta hang up. I'm so sorry, but
I'm
either
not sorry.
way, so yes, those are the ways you can watch that. Let's talk a little bit about our head-to-head record with Orlando Pride. So we have played them 4 times. They have won twice, we have won once, and then we have drawn once. Now,
Ooh,
let's take a look. It looks like they beat us, and then we tied. We beat them, and then they beat us. So we're on the losing end of this record currently. So we need to kind of shift the balance back into our power with a win so we can like even that up. Hopefully
yeah.
that is the case. Messiah Bright will be playing against her former club, the Orlando Pride. So that should be interesting. So hopefully she is able to, maybe put it to him because she wanted to leave. I don't know the reason, but she requested to leave. I would love to know why, if anyone knows. But either
Ooh.
way, Orlando was gracious enough to release her, knowing that her well being is more important. So, whatever the reason was, hopefully it wasn't anything bad. But either
Yeah, I
way,
mean, when we look at the Angel City roster, we actually have 6 players who came from Orlando. Messiah Bright, Claire Emsley, Sydney LaRue, Allie Riley, Jasmine Spencer, and Maggie Doherty Howard.
ooh, all right. So,
A big
they at least
matchup.
they at least know how to play in that atrocious humidity down there in Florida. So that's
Mhm.
good. But hopefully it's a good game. I'm excited to see how we do against them because I don't know that BFC is a good litmus test for us because I mean, come on, new franchises coming into this league, they're amped up, they're hyped up, they're running on a different type of adrenaline. First game, I think they're just on a different level, which will fade and they will like kind of normalize a little bit. So I think this will be a much better test for us on how we are and how we're doing. Hopefully, we can find ways to finish our shots, something that I feel we've said ad nauseum. Like we never go without lack of attempts. It's just the quality of attempts, and we need to figure it out.
Yeah. Before I tell you about some Orlando players that you're going to watch tomorrow, let's talk about this matchup because this is actually the second time we've had a first away game against Orlando. So last year we did the same. And in that game, Claire Emsley actually opened the scoring late in the first half. With the only Orlando goal coming from Messiah Bright, who now plays for us. So we were able to equalize that right after the break. A last minute goal by Katie Johnson in the 10th minute of stoppage is who saved that point for us. So super
Mm.
exciting to see how this will play out. As we said, we are 1-2-1 all time against them. And Orlando, as I mentioned before, I have a small correction for myself. They were on the road last week against Louisville, and it actually ended up 2-2, which is why they have a 0 goal differential. So not a 0-0 game, as I accidentally said earlier, but
You're just making stuff up.
2-2. Making stuff up all the time. You know me. All right, let me make up some more stuff. You want to talk about some players to watch from Orlando now that we didn't steal everyone?
Who do we got? Who should we watch, Nina?
Yeah, we didn't steal every player from them. They did make some roster additions over the offseason, including Zamibian star Barbara Banda, who the club signed at the beginning of March. Banda first attracted international attention in the 2020 Tokyo Olympics, where she scored not one, but two back to back, because that's how you get it. It's back to back because that's two hat tricks, the first in Olympic history. And despite her team suffering a 3-10 loss in their first match, altogether, she has 51 goals in 58 caps for her national team. She is definitely going to be someone we are going to need to watch out for. They also have some great blood in the midfield, bringing in Angelina from the Seattle Reign alongside her Brazilian teammate. They literally went and said, if you play for the Brazilian national team, come on over. Like, we're going to all party together. We're going to play together. And that just leads me to believe that this Brazilian national team is also going to be incredible to watch this year because they are not taking time away from each other. I got excited.
Okay, you're like keeping it all in the family, huh?
Keeping it all in the family.
Love that. Huh. All right. Who else?
So we also want to keep on watch and an eye on Morgan Gautrat, who is also an amazing star. As long as she can stay healthy, she's a great number 6 for them. And then last but not least, the 20-year-old Swedish midfielder, Evelina Dujuan. I'm probably butchering all these names because I'm not Amanda and I can't do these things. But she's got great creativity. She's played for Juventus. Great skilled player, and it'll be interesting to see how she looks on the ball and what magic she makes happen. So watch out for some of those connections. Midfield, strong. Forwards, strong. So let's penetrate their defense.
All right. Sounds good. I'm excited. I think it's going to be a great matchup. I think, like you said, we've got a lot of former players from Orlando that are going to be ready to go. I hope we see. I hope we see Messiah Bright, a lot more of her. Megan Doherty Howard, of course. There were a lot of names that didn't even make their way in to this last matchup, that are definitely promising. So, I mean, we do have a little bit of depth. I mean, there's some that didn't see any. I mean, Katie Johnson, did she I didn't look at the subs, to be honest, so I can't say that, but certainly didn't get a whole lot of playing time. So I'm excited to see how we stack up against them. It's going to be a lot of fun, and hopefully get to see at least the second half of the game.
Yeah, not just listening on iHeart. But we've got a couple home games coming up. The first 3 in the next upcoming home games, April 21st, which is a Sunday
A
against
month? In
what?
a month?
Yeah,
It's not. Our next home game is not for a month.
yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, April 21st is our next home game. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the last home game. Unfortunately, we didn't get to partake. So, we are still have those first home game like itchy and scratchy moments. Like I'm just ready. I need it. I need to go and hasn't happened yet. So, you guys have to wait a month. So, we've got some away games we've got to like support each other through and hopefully we'll be able to all get together and do that because we got to support these ladies and it starts tomorrow. So, hopefully that happens, but yes, April 21st against NC Courage. We'll be back at BMO. Friday, April 26th against KC Current, and Sunday, May 12th against the Houston Dash. So that is how your upcoming home games look. So mark them down on your calendar. Make sure you join us for those games. Come out to our tailgates because you know that unless there's a marathon on that day, we'll be there. Dang it.
Oh,
All right.
Max. I can't believe so Max is in the comments now. You got to go to the home opener and you didn't even tell us you were coming into to LA. Come on now.
Man,
Really
all this
sad that we didn't
time.
do that.
I know. It sucks we had to miss it. The schedule change really just unfortunately messed everything up. I had other obligations on top of it and it didn't work. So it's okay. We've moved on from that and we're going to move on from Angel City. That is all we really have to say about them. Like I said, hashtag don't panic. It's early. There's a lot to learn from this first game. And I'm sure, I have no doubt Becky Tweed is looking at this game. She's deciding, what worked, what didn't work. And hopefully, like I said, we're working on set pieces and how to score. That would be amazing. So let's move our gear. Let's shift it on into NWSL news, which also includes some Angel City. And what I'm kind of excited to talk about, I think this is a really, really cool thing they're doing. And this is the NWSL and Liga MX Femenil Summer Cup. Now, for those of you who do not know what I'm talking about, this is a brand new tournament that will pit all 14 NWSL teams against the top 6 Liga MX Femenil teams in a knockout style competition. And what I mean by that is first, it's going to be in groups. We've got A, B, C, D, and E. And Nina, what group are we in?
B.
We are
I'm
in
not
B. And
thrilled. I'm not
what,
thrilled. Sorry.
what,
Like
what
I
do you
want
not?
to say it with excitement. I mean, I get why we're in B. They did it based on like locality and like who's near each other. So we're in Group B alongside San Diego Wave and Bay FC and Club America. And like I get it. Everyone is grouped based on geographic regions, it seems, and then we sprinkle in the Liga MX.
Right.
But
I mean,
our
it's interesting.
group is
Group C
hard.
I mean, well, Group C does have two. They have Club Pachuca and Tigres with Current and Dash. So it's interesting how it is all stacked up. Not going to lie. Now, if you're wondering how this is going to happen, this is going to be a knockout style tournament, but it's going to first start in the group stage. So they're all going to play each other, and then the top point winner of each group is going to advance. Right? No,
Mhm.
only the top 4. There's 5 groups, but you could win your group, but if you
And
don't have
still
the
not
most points,
get anywhere.
you still don't get in. So it's real interesting. So of the 5 group winners, only the top 4 with the most points advance to semis, which is going to be interesting because how many times do group stages have the same points?
It's a great question. I actually don't know.
I mean, I feel like
But
that's pretty often, like 2
I'm just
wins.
also with this, if there's 2 teams in a group that really rock and they end up with more points and like group E, for example, only tie the whole time. They play each
Well, I
other and
mean,
every single game is a tie.
that's
Group
just like
B
any
can send
World
2
Cup
people.
out there. That's just like any World Cup out there. That's why you have the group of death and stuff. The ones that have all the hard teams. 2 of them are going to get knocked out, and then you've got this easy peasy group over here where you're like, wow, how did Liechtenstein get in there? And like France is out.
Yeah.
Like
Well, this
that
kind of
happens.
balances that because if you just get enough points, 2 teams essentially, the way I see this, could advance out of one group, and nobody is going to advance out of at least one of these groups because you're only getting 4. So one group is going to be completely out. You're going to have a group literally of death, and you're all going to die.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I'm curious to see how it goes. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I am curious. I'm excited to see it honestly because that's how it's going to go. So the top point winners, uh, and then the fourth place point winner are going to play each other, and then second place points and third place points are going to go against each other, and then you're going to have those two play, and then here's your champion. So it's very interesting. So that
Yeah.
is what that is all about. I think it's cool. I mean, like I said, I'm very excited to see it. It's going to start Friday, July 19th. And then the four team semifinal round, the top four point getters, they are going to face off Sunday, August 4th. And then the championship will not happen until the weekend of October 25th to 27th. So when they say championship match, will transpire on the weekend. Does that mean they don't know the date, or it's going to happen over a couple days and it's going to be a home and a home and away kind of thing?
Sounds like they don't know the date and they don't know the location, which is why they're leaving it open. They're like,
We don't know. I mean,
TBD.
TBD, yeah. So curious. Well, we'll definitely keep you updated on that because again, we don't really know. I mean, I'm reading you exactly what I've read out there, and that's how it is. So all right, Nina, I want you to talk to everybody a little bit about something that, people talk about this a lot about where to watch games.
Yes.
Where's this game? They can't figure it out because Friday is going to have a host of games. And then if it's a Saturday night game, they're going to be on a certain channel. And then if they're on a Sunday, if their name starts with an A, they might be here. Like it's so convoluted and crazy. And it's like a whole algorithm. But what
And
sucks
it
though,
just got crazier.
it, this is
Like,
what sucks, right, Nina? Like, first, let me preface this by saying we live in California, okay? California is expensive,
mhm.
okay? You not just rich and just live out here and we have all the money in the world. No, we live out here and everything's expensive and I'm
And we're
looking for
drinking $4 wine.
right $2 Chuck, baby. Let's
Let's
go. So
go.
I say that because, well, Nina, why am I mad?
Okay, so we got a shout out, of course, a true friend of the pod, Vince, who sent this to us on Instagram earlier, and I had to include this for everyone. And if you're not on the YouTubes with us, this is a breakdown of games for every single team based on where you find it. So we've got the subscription services where you have to pay money to get the games, and then you've got free games. Angel City play 11 games where you have to have one of the 3 subscription services in order to watch, and only 15 of our games are free, as opposed to Chicago Red Stars, who only have 4 games behind a paywall and 22 free games. So this chart goes through and ranks each team in order based on how many free games they have and how many you have to pay to see. Angel City and San Diego Wave top the charts with 11 subscription games each.
Why in the world does it go from most expensive city to like cheapest? Like it's literally, I mean, Chicago's debatable, but it's still California, New York, Portland,
Mhm.
Washington. Then you've got Orlando, Kansas City, Houston, Louisville, North Carolina, and Chicago.
Yeah.
It's like the cost of living where it's cheaper, you get more free games.
I mean, you could also say that the teams that are drawing in more people have to pay more for their games.
They look at it and they're like, "Oh, there's a lot of Angel City fans that want to see their games, so we're going to make sure they go here and these subscribers are going to be happy that there's a lot of people paying and they're going to keep coming back for more."
Also, like
Ugh.
the something inside of me is also like, okay, this NWSL Plus app, maybe they want more data on some of these other cities. So they're like, oh, we're going to put 22 Red Star games on the NWSL app and stuff like that and see what we can learn about people because we know these apps are like gathering data. I feel like I should get my tinfoil hat out.
There's definitely a conspiracy theory happening back here. Something's not right. I feel like they're trying to like pull the wool over our eyes or like, like stick it to us, but I don't know. Either way, thankfully, I have all the subscription services known to man, either myself or through Nina's mom or through my mom or anybody else. So it's fine.
So if your mom has a login, send it to us.
Your mom has, yes, please, just share the love, please. I
Thanks,
would love
mommies.
that. Thanks, moms. All right. So enough of that ranting and raving. Let's talk about some fun, good, positive NWSL news. Let's talk about the fact that, well, it's not really NWSL news, I guess, right?
I mean, they're in the league.
Yeah. Is that where did they? Wait here. Talk to me. Where did they play?
So, Utah Royals, they're playing, I think I actually don't know the name of their stadium off the top of my head. I could Google it real quick, but I don't want to move my laptop too much because we need a new mic cord.
Right.
Um, but Utah Royals setting an attendance record for Utah women's sports. 20,370 people attended. Very good for them. A rising tide raises all ships. So we are excited to see somebody else breaking into that 20,000 category for their match attendance.
Right. No, that's really exciting. And again, if that was, if you didn't understand what we were saying, like as far as women's sports go in the state of Utah, this was the most attended sporting event, for a woman's sport in the state. Like that's huge. Like people are turning up for this. And I love that. I mean, Utah has to be becoming a soccer state. I mean, you look at, Real Salt Lake and their success as well. So, like you said, I'm sure all of that comes together. I really do think when you've got an MLS club and an NWSL club, kind of in close proximity and doing things, I think that really brings it all in. I think it gets people excited. And yeah, this is great. This is another reason why women's sports is, on the rise. This is why all these clubs are trying to sell their clubs. And I'll get into that a little bit and why I'm sure some people think, oh, that's a bad thing. Why are they selling? Why are they selling? But no, it's a great thing. They're selling because they can make money, and someone else is buying because they think they can also make money down the road because
Mhm.
these are trending. These are, making money. So, but either way, let's move on because what was really exciting also is Casey Current's first game, their first home game in their new stadium, the first soccer specific stadium for women. Incredible, love to see it. But not only was the stadium amazing, but the viewers on ABC were amazing. There were 614,000 viewers
Woo!
who tuned in to this Casey Current versus Portland Thorns match where Casey pulled out a 5-4 victory. It was the
Say
second
that
most
score line
viewed.
again. Say
Huh?
that score line again.
5-4.
Woo!
I love that. They put on a show. Let's just say they put on a show. An offensive show, not so much a defensive show, but an offensive show. Uh, but either way, second most viewed NWSL regular season match in history, and it was up 29% versus comparable KC versus Portland games on broadcast television. So pretty cool, right? I mean,
Very cool, very exciting.
that many people tuning in, showing up, seeing this happen, and big credit to somebody like Patrick and Brittany Mahomes within the NFL community because they are huge soccer fans, showing up, putting eyes on this sport as well, and I think they were featured at the game as well. I don't know if people knew this, but Brittany Mahomes actually played soccer. She actually played in I don't know if it's the Icelandic league or whatever, but she
Oh.
does have a soccer background, and I think she tried to nutmeg him on the pitch while they were goofing around and stuff. So she does have a soccer background. She loves the sport, and I think that only is going to help it grow. So, all right, moving
All right.
on to
We got
something
just a
that
few more from
I don't know
around the
why
league.
you put this in there, but thanks.
I mean, it's technically history, and I alluded to this earlier. Uh, 8 saves, yay. I mean, so those of you not on YouTube, uh, in the Angels City match, of course, was Pruz, the goalkeeper for Bay FC's debut for the league, and she actually ends up with 8 saves credited to her, which ties the league record for saves in an NWSL regular season debut. So exciting on her. And this is also just a really cool picture. Like LaRue looks cool. This looks cool. I like the pick.
All right, that's fine. Enough about that though. So again, we were talking about this part earlier. We're talking about club selling, and we've known for a while that the OL group was going to sell. And well, we just found out that the Seattle Reign actually acquired them for $58 million, which that's a lot of money. And what are your thoughts on MLS teams buying NWSL teams?
I'm all in for this. I think it's a very exciting uh time for them. I think that there's a lot to be said about a good relationship, especially when a stadium is shared. We've talked about this a while. So Seattle Sounders acquiring Seattle Reign, 58 million. I feel like we maybe should have held out for more, but whatever, with all the record breaking that San Diego Wave is doing and Angel City, but 58 million is still a lot. It's a great moment for us to celebrate them. And I'm just glad that this is going through and that they can hopefully find some stability now that this has been in talks for a very long time. And they had a lot happen at Seattle Reign with Megan Rapinoe retiring and things like that. So very exciting to see them finalizing this and hopefully moving forward and having a great season, but not better than ours.
Agreed, agreed. I look at this and I think about, MLS clubs and NWSL clubs, being a little more I guess connected. And I mean, like, I think about it, I'm like, that's literally how all of like Europe does it. You have Arsenal men and women, you have United men and women, you have the same thing, Club America men and women. Like it's it's a thing. And I'm curious to see if this does anything, spurs anything, because we have a lot of MLS clubs and NWSL clubs in the same market. So I don't know. I guess it remains to be seen. I'm curious to see where it goes. So, anyways, that's all I have to say
Yep.
about that. Congrats on them for finally selling. It's a good thing. I mean, Seattle Sounders are a storied franchise that knows how to run a club. So I'm sure they're going to do great things for this. So hopefully we
Do you
get to see
think
that.
the future of sports is like somebody basically owning a market, or is that too much of a monopoly? Like, what if somebody owned a football, hockey, women's football, women's hockey, women's soccer, men's soccer, baseball, all in one city? Like, wouldn't it be cool? Because, like, when you think of Seattle, they also are playing at their football stadium.
I mean, yeah, very interesting. I mean, who wonder who does own the Seahawks organization? You know,
I don't
I don't
know.
know. Either way, because this is
We'll have to
OL
dig
Group,
into this.
which is
I'm gonna go put on my aluminum foil hat and dig into this more.
right. Are you going to try to own all the sports franchises you can in LA next?
Yeah, that, and I wanna get paid to exist, as we talked about
Okay.
earlier. I texted Amanda, I want a reality show that films me, and I'm, like, waking up, I can go shopping, I can cook, I can have a glass of wine, and I get paid really well, but nobody actually watches it.
And I said, so you literally just want to get paid to exist?
That'd be
And she said,
fantastic.
yes. So she's crowdfunding for this, guy. So if anybody wants to put in, some money towards Nina just literally getting money to
Did you do
exist.
that?
No?
Oh my gosh!
What did you do, Nina?
I made
I'm
fireworks happen!
getting ready to find out how you did that. Oh
I
my
give me thumbs up. I don't know.
Oh, well, Nina just had fireworks in her background, which was super cool. I just have no idea
I
how
have
you
no
did it.
idea.
What did I say?
I don't know. What did we do? I'm trying
I
to
don't know.
duplicate it. Oh, that was the
Life
best.
is celebrating you being paid to exist. I love that.
I love that for me. All
All right,
right.
let's
We're
move
gonna wrap up
on.
here.
Yes, let's wrap up here, please.
The chaos is ending, and we are ending with a quote. This one comes from Vice Captain Sarah Gordon, who says so eloquently, "It sucks to lose your home opener. It's not how you want to start the season." But there were definitely a lot of positive takeaways. Couldn't have said it better ourselves, Sarah.
I mean, yeah, it's what we've said all pod is it sucks that we lost, absolutely, but certainly no reason to panic. I think there's a lot of bright spots. This team is young. I think once they play a little more together, get a little more, like burn on their boots, I think you're going to see this team really come into its own. I'm excited for them. Do I think we still need like a big like forward, a big striker somewhere out there? Yeah, so if we could just borrow Oshoala, that'd be amazing. So thanks. Bye. Anyways, that's
Alright.
all I have to say. Hit us up on socials if you have any questions, comments, your thoughts on anything. Of course, we'd love to hear you. We are going to start to try to do this Thursdays at 7. So if you are not already subscribed to our podcast or our YouTube, where we will be doing this live at 7 o'clock, please do that so you're notified. But that should be the case going forward. Do you have anything to add, Nina?
I'm gonna try and make more fireworks.
All right. Good luck with that. Until next time, guys.
I made a bubble.
Bye. Oh, good lord.
Bye.